When your career stalls, your energy crashes, and your daily routine grinds to a halt, your entire life can feel like a broken system. When this happens, human instinct tells us we need a massive, exhausting overhaul to fix it. We try to burn everything down, wake up at 4 a.m., and rewire our behavior overnight. This chart shows how system failures actually happen. A massive crisis is rarely a single catastrophic explosion. Instead, a microscopic, barely visible deviation at the start compounds over time, eventually snowballing into an exponential collapse. But behavioral science reveals a workaround called the nonlinear ripple effect. If you correct that single tiny error at the origin point, the massive failure curve at the end instantly flattens into a healthy, stable baseline. We can apply this exact math to your life. We are going to look at 3 specific, tiny levers that will permanently black your performance leaks in under 60 seconds a day. Achieving peak performance does not require a grueling, willpower-draining life overhaul. It just requires a targeted patch to your daily operating system. The human brain has a biological bias. Through evolution, it is programmed to always choose the path of lowest energy expenditure. Because of this, relying on motivation or willpower to break a destructive routine, like screen addiction, is a predictable system failure. Your brain will eventually default to the easiest action. This flowchart illustrates our first workaround, increasing frictional resistance. By intentionally putting physical barriers in front of bad choices, we force the brain to abandon its default path. Let's apply this. Instead of leaving your smartphone on your nightstand, put it inside a drawer across the room and leave a book directly on your pillow. That mere 2-centimeter alteration in your physical environment completely changes the math for your tired brain. Reaching for the phone now requires too much energy, short-circuiting the dopamine reward loop and making the book the path of least resistance. Strategically engineering your physical surroundings defeats biological temptation every single time. Trying to forge a brand new neural pathway from scratch demands high levels of cognitive energy. Most people burn out before the behavior becomes automatic. To bypass this heavy biological cost, we use a technique called the habit stacking matrix. This visual maps the formula. Instead of starting from zero, you attach a tiny new action directly to an old automatic habit, represented by the large glowing node. For instance, if pouring morning coffee is automatic, immediately follow it by checking your task tracker. Coasting on existing neural momentum allows you to install new software into your daily routine without crashing the system. Our final lever addresses modern anxiety and decision fatigue. These aren't personal weaknesses. They are symptoms of an overloaded working memory. Unresolved tasks act as open loops in your mind. They silently drain your brain's processing speed in the background, exactly like having too many apps open on a dying phone. The fix is a mandatory nightly system purge, known as the 5-minute brain dump. By physically writing down all that floating mental data before bed, you convert it into a tangible asset on paper. This closes the mental loops and drops your decision fatigue to 0 by the time you wake up. Elite performance isn't about pushing your brain harder. It is about systematically protecting your cognitive RAM from unnecessary background noise. Once you apply these levers, life stops feeling chaotic. Your day operates as a calm, self-sustaining system. This modern clinical engineering perfectly mirrors the ancient Vedic philosophy of Bindu Se Sagar, which translates to the ocean in a drop. You can see the physical manifestation of this idea right here at the Ghats of Varanasi. These towering, seemingly impossible monolithic structures are not single massive entities. They are the result of the linear, disciplined alignment of thousands of individual small stones. The ultimate power to change your life does not reside in explosive, exhausting interventions. It lives entirely in the steady rhythm of a micropoint. Committing to fix a single bindu, a tiny daily rule, will, through sheer consistency, eventually construct an empire of character. Stop waiting for the big, exhausting change. Comment micro below to commit to flipping your first lever today and subscribe to MindUnlock. Master the micro and the macro will follow.